Kia ora, I'm Anthony Lawler, the Chief Executive of TRG Natural Pharmaceuticals. TRG was founded by Dr. Sean Holt. Sean's a qualified pharmacist but also a qualified doctor. Sean became incredibly interested in natural products, and what he saw was that not many of these products had good, strong human clinical trials to prove that they work. And that's what TRG does. We're a natural biotech development company, and we apply good, strong pharmaceutical rigors to all our ingredients and all our products. And what I mean by that is phase 2 and phase 3 human clinical trials, strong supply chain, and intellectual property such as patents. TRG's aim is not to build brands. We develop intellectual property and products, and we out-license that intellectual property to large global healthcare and large global pharmaceutical companies. And they bring everything that we don't have, which is global distribution and global sales and marketing expertise.
So our flagship product is called Honevo, and Honevo contains just 2 ingredients. That's 90% kanuka honey from New Zealand and just 10% glycerin. So why kanuka honey, and what is kanuka honey? Well, in New Zealand there are 2 tea trees. There's manuka, which is very famous, and kanuka, not quite so famous. However, we use kanuka because in the laboratory it has better properties than manuka. Both of those honeys have great antibacterial strength, but kanuka seems to have more anti-inflammatory activity, which is what you want for a medicine that works on the skin. So why do we have glycerin in there? Well, the glycerin makes it temperature stable, and so normally honey is very hard when it gets cold and very runny when it gets hot, and that's no good for a medicine you're going to apply to the skin. But with the addition of just 10% glycerin, we keep all the properties of the honey, but we don't have problems with temperature. Now, the honey is what's called medical grade or pharmaceutical grade, and that means it's safe to put on the skin because it's very nearly sterile. Because honey that you eat is not sterile at all, so it's fine to eat but not to put on the skin because the impurities would cause skin reactions. So how do we make it medical grade? Well, it's a 2-step process. First of all, we filter it down to 50 microns, and then you can either irradiate or you can pasteurize, and we actually choose to pasteurize. So that's our product, Honevo. We have a patent on the formulation in most countries, and we've proven in phase 3 studies that it's effective for 3 conditions. That's cold sores, acne, and rosacea.
A third of us suffer from painful, unsightly cold sores, but a simple New Zealand honey could be the answer. A medical trial has found a natural New Zealand honey product is as good as the pharmaceuticals. Health correspondent Lucy Warhurst reports.
It might look appetising, but this kanuka honey, yes, kanuka, isn't going to be eaten. It's destined to become medicine for the skin.
The product is a combination of 90% medical grade, meaning nearly sterile, kanuka honey and 10% glycerin.
A clinical study conducted by pharmacists and involving almost 1,000 New Zealanders has shown the natural Honevo product is as effective as the well-known pharmaceuticals.
So cold sores are very common. Around 1 in 3 people on the planet get cold sores, including myself. We've done a massive study of our product Honevo for cold sores. There were over 952 people on the study, and we compared it to the market leader, which is a product called Zovirax in many countries, and the drug name is acyclovir. The overall results of the study were basically that the products were equal in terms of effectiveness, which is reducing the duration of the cold sore and also the pain associated with the cold sore. So that's an amazing result, because I believe if you have 2 products with the equal effectiveness, but one's natural and one's a chemical, then I think most people would choose the natural one for various reasons. However, the Honevo product has many advantages. For example, products that are usually used to treat cold sores are only useful in the first day or 2 of the cold sore when the virus is replicating because they're antiviral medications. However, Honevo works differently. It works on the wound, and that means you can use Honevo throughout the cold sore. The other products tend to be just 5 times a day because they're medicines. However, Honevo, because it's safe and natural, you can use it as often as you want. You can use it 25 times a day if you want. And that's useful because I get cold sores, and what you want to do when you have a cold sore is keep putting something on the cold sore to keep it moist. That stops it cracking, and that reduces pain, and it also helps with the healing process as well. So there's many advantages of Honevo compared to the standard treatments for cold sores. So I would argue this is actually the best treatment for cold sores. Now, rosacea is a very common condition. It affects around 5 to 10% of people, and it's a redness around the nose and the cheeks here. And it can be quite severe. Now, the other thing I know as a doctor is that rosacea is very hard to treat, and people are often on antibiotics for years or even decades without much success. So it's a very difficult condition to treat. And to be frank, I was amazed when we found out that Honevo was a great treatment for rosacea. We've done a study with about 140 people, and the results were phenomenal. In just 8 weeks, 2/3 of people had a good improvement, 1/3 had a really large improvement, and in 1 in 8 people, the rosacea completely disappeared, something I didn't expect to see at all. So that is great results. And on the study, most people have been on antibiotics for around 15 years, so it just shows that current treatments aren't great, and Honevo does have a really good effect. So how does it work? Well, we're not entirely sure because the mechanism of rosacea is not fully understood either. But we know that honey heals the skin and rosacea skin is damaged. We know that bugs might be involved in rosacea and honey kills a lot of bugs. And we also know that rosacea is an inflammation of the skin and honey reduces inflammation. So that's probably how it's working, maybe a combination of all those. And the way you use it is like a mask. So it's honey, it's sticky, it doesn't go into the skin, but instead it sits on the skin, working its magic. You put it on the skin for around 15 to 30 minutes, once or twice a day, and then it easily washes off with warm water. And most people get great results.